So to be clear, and as we are going into our third week, because I know you touched on a lot of points, but I want to focus on one of them. And you mentioned the player pay, the hotel as well, having a place to stay. So the league is responsible for all that. So 3 weeks in, have the players been paid? Coaches been paid? How's that going? And has there been any type of communication as far as that with the league?
Oh, well, Anthony. Of course, there's communication, right? Like the old story goes, "Hey, the check's in the mail," right? Or, "Oh, hey, man, look, it's tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you had a rent house and you wanted to collect rent, right? Oh, cool. Hey, can you give me one more day, man? Look, just give me one more day. I'm gonna pay you tomorrow. I'm gonna pay you tomorrow. I'm gonna pay you tomorrow. Well, we did that. It's always a fairy tale with the Arena Football League. You know, the check's in the mail. It's coming tomorrow. Man, we were there to send it to you, but it was right after 4, and it wouldn't go through until tomorrow. It's going to come first thing in the morning. You know, I haven't been paid since February, but in March when they were going to pay us, to be fair to them, there was an ownership group that was trying to buy the team and trying to take over. Okay, so so it was like, hey, that got messed up whenever the ownership group backed out. You're gonna get paid next week. And it just went so on and so on. And listen, I have a real job. I mean, I'm a high school coach, so I never thought about it. I just thought, hey, look, don't worry about it. It's gonna come. When the first game is getting here, they're gonna start sending money, which they did, just not to us, not to the staff. I almost feel like the league is maybe part Navy SEAL because they can definitely hold their radio silence for a long time. I mean, they're the worst communicators known to man. Um, you know, they never give us the direction, and so it was basically the checks in the mail, checks in the mail, checks in the mail. Well, so Tuesday we were always supposed to get paid on Tuesday after the first game. Tuesday came and went, no paychecks. Well, I had already started. I told the players, you know, Anthony, players don't come to a coach. They don't come to an area, right? They come to a certain kind of coach. They have to trust the guy that they want to work for. Okay. And so when I talked to all my guys, I told them on the fact, look, I did this in the '90s and I did this in the late 2000s, early 2000s, and I just want one more chance to win a championship before I'm done with arena football. Okay. And my word is my bond. Check me out online. Ask around about me. I'm that guy who's going to tell you how it is. All right. Every player that has come to me, unbelievable professional, super. The professionalism level is through the roof. And they have basically done everything I've asked them to do. When the checks didn't come, Philadelphia erupted, exploded. The line online, it was all like, oh, they're ripping us off. I mean, some of the players did videos of missing the plane at the airport. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, dude. Did you see any of my players say anything about not getting paid? No. We kept it in because we all kept thinking, hey, they're going to pay us because it's the Arena Football League. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. I mean, this is too big of a deal for it not to happen. Okay. And then we had a meeting as a group, we zoomed it, and I just said, hey guys, give me some time. I know some ownership groups. We'll find local owners that'll pick up everything, and hopefully they can salvage the team. And we can definitely make the year. Well, I did. I found a couple ownership groups that would take over the team. All right. Problem is, so Travell had met with one of them and signed off on it. He was going to take over the team. It's just it never came to fruition because as it was getting to that point, they wanted Hutton out. They could see that Hutton was the problem. So hey, the owners got together. They have these meetings. Well, whenever these owners have these meetings, they're too worried about rules of football instead of worrying about their partners and who could make it and can't make it throughout the year. I mean, so I just kind of feel like, there's been some great ownership groups. Trevor in Iowa was really good. He's been really good to us. Whenever they first folded, I talked to Trevor. He was going to sell me the net system. I was going to bring the net system to Lafayette if I had to get some people to buy it for us and just move it to Lafayette for us. Go find a sponsor or something. Because the league didn't take care of us. Wes in Rapid City. Wes has been amazing. Steve Titus and Billings has been great. Jeff Fisher in Nashville. Jeff Fisher, the old NFL coach, has been great. Spoke to my investor on the phone for a long time. An awesome communicator. I begged him at the point when we talked. I said, please take over as commissioner of this league. This league needs you. I said, if you would take over as commissioner, things would change. You know what I mean? I just don't know what the deal is. If maybe they can't. Maybe they can't do it. Maybe it's a legal issue. I don't know what the deal is. I just feel like the leadership at the top is horrible. You know, people, if you ask me, there's high school league, there's little league, there are little leagues that are ran better than the AFL is. You know, anytime my fans are having to ask me if we're having a game, there's no press releases, there's nothing. You know, I just don't understand it. You're gonna love this story. It's one of my favorite stories. This is how I decided that it was doomed. Okay. Um, on Tuesday, the phone call comes through. Now, keep in mind, Anthony, that earlier I was telling you the story about on Sunday when we were talking about going to Minnesota. I helped them invent the story that our arena was unsafe and that we were gonna go to Minnesota the next weekend. That was supposed to be a press release. They were gonna let me know. Okay. Well, when we finished our game on Saturday, the referees were leaving. I shake all the referees' hands, as I always do for even a high school event. Tell them thank you for coming and everything. And they said, Coach, we'll be back next weekend to see y'all, next weekend. Now, right then and there, that tells you that they were fine with everything that happened in the arena. This, that, and the other. Before the game, all we had talked about was the net system that needed to be replaced, but the referees were fine. It was functional and it worked. Okay. So Tuesday comes around. There was no press release from the AFL on how the schedule was going to change. Nothing was released yet. All right. I get a phone call from Lee Hutton, and he says, Coach Shiver, just wanted to tell you that I was just on the phone with the head of officials, and they just don't feel that your arena is safe. And we're going to probably give you guys a bye week this week. Now, Anthony, I'm the one that made up the lie. I'm the one that made that story up. That was never anybody else's story. Okay, that's not true. The officials were fine with our building. I had spoke to them the night of. Everything was 100% fine. The net system was all we needed. There was no safety concerns. So instead of us playing that game, he takes Georgia and sends them to Oregon, who's using rodeo arena fencing as their dashboard system. So right then and there, I knew, and I said, Lee, this is Shiver you're talking to. And he goes, yeah, I know. I said, Lee, I'm the one that made that lie up that you just used on me. And he didn't know what to say, man. And the thing was, I called him. I finally called him. You know how it is whenever you have an idea that somebody might be full of crap, right? But you don't want to say it. And maybe just it ends up working out where it always like the dude ends up like a rose every time that there's a something happens. Okay. And so I'm just like, wait a minute. I called him. He lied to me using my lie. All right. Sure enough, no paychecks came that night. Guys still didn't have apartments. So that whole week, nothing happened. I had to go back, tell the guys, hey guys, they're giving us a bye. We have a bye. Okay. And they were all like, the guys were so upset because you don't have a 10-week season. Some of the younger guys doing this for film to try to get to the next level, you know? And so, I was just really, man, I was so upset with it. So that's whenever we found the ownership groups. We went out there, we worked our tail off, man. We reached out to all the owners with emails. We did everything we could. Well, all of a sudden when I reached out to the owners, I get another phone call from Lee Hutton. But at this point, I'm not answering it because I already know. So I just sent him a text, just put it in writing. You know what I'm saying? Text me or email me. Let me know what direction you want me to go in. Okay. But he says I wasn't answering the phone. Okay. Well, he calls one of the front office people, which we never had a front office before, but we had one for the game for Louisiana. We had Bentley Turner, who was supposedly like game day operations or whatever his real title was. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Bentley calls me and tells me that Lee is so mad that I'm doing criminal activity by reaching out to the other teams. I don't understand when reaching out to other teams would be criminal, right? I'm married to a lawyer. I'm married into a whole family of lawyers. That's not criminal. I'm not crazy. Okay. So I did what I did was best for my team. To this date, I have a 3-year contract. If they want to fire me, that's fine. I have a 3-year contract, so they're welcome to pay for it. I'm tired of them always turning and moving and changing the story, man. You know what I mean? Like it's always been a constant change. And now that people at Lafayette have experienced the game, they've told their friends about it. People are dying to come to the next game. Okay. I can't even tell them if we're going to have a game or not. Because, for instance, today is Monday. Okay. We're supposed to play on Thursday. Finally, Lee Hutton, Travell reaches out yesterday and says, we want to have a conference call with Travell, Lee, Corey Diaz, which is our special teams coordinator, and myself. And I said, yes, no problem. 8:30 in the morning. Okay. Well, 8:30 comes and goes. No phone call. Okay. I knew he wasn't going to call. All right. Travell sends a text message, which, like I've said before, Travell's been great to me. You know, I don't know how he's been with other people, but he's always been upfront and honest with me. Okay. So Travell sends a text message that says, Lee is in court today. He won't be able to be on the phone call, but you guys are getting paid today or tomorrow. It depends what time all that happens. I've resigned from my position with the league. He said, but y'all are getting paid today or tomorrow. And there's no way we're gonna play the rest of this season. Maybe in the month of June. There's just too much to be done to the arena. Now, listen, Anthony, there's nothing that needs to be done except for a net system, and Iowa already told me we could use theirs. You know what I mean? So that's not true. No, that's true. Okay, but that's okay. I still played along. Okay, no worries. I guess around an hour later, one of my players reached out to me because I had given my players Lee Hutton's cell phone number and said, y'all keep calling him until he answers y'all and tells y'all what's going on. Okay. Well, he did. He answered them. He answered their phone call and starts spinning a whole different story to them. So, coach, they know that he lies. So, of course, they call me and they start telling me what he said. They put it all on the voice chat, on the not voice chat, on the group text. Okay. So then I copy and pasted and I said, hey, Travell, I know why you can't get Lee. It's not that he's in court. He's too busy talking to my players. And the topic of conversation is how much you've done wrong. He's basically throwing Travell underneath the bus and running over him 4 or 5 times for everything that's wrong with the Voodoo is Travell's fault. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's so not true because he knew everything. I was on conference calls with him the whole time. No net system, no dashboard pads, none of this other stuff. He knew the whole time because we were in constant communication. Okay, none of that's true. Whenever Philadelphia wasn't going to come at first, I was on the phone call with the people from Dallas whenever they were offering that guy the head coaching job to take over. Okay, like I was on the calls. I know everything. I was there. Okay, and so and that's what kills me. If you if you're gonna lie to me, don't let me at least be there and hear the truth. I mean, so yeah, I do feel like I've been lied to. My players have been ripped off. They don't have housing, but still they did not come out all over media. They're professional, too professional to come out over media. And if this hurts my appeal to the indoor arena or professional ranks for football, I don't care, guys. I'm almost 50 years old. Okay, I don't have to have these jobs. I like doing this. This is a passion of mine. I love coaching football. I love coaching grown men and I love being around the sport. Okay. But I don't have to do it again. This won't be the end all be all for me. Okay. It's time for somebody to tell the story. The story is the league ripped off my team. And there's nothing else we can do about it. We've tried everything we can. Um, we've fought it out. We found ownership groups, but couldn't get through to them with the league. We've done it all. We got kicked out of the hotels the night before the game. The guys didn't even get to shower. One of my top players, Torrey Boyd, he says, "Coach, I don't need a hotel room. I just need money for a ticket on a bus to go meet my brother in Houston." I mean, how ridiculous is that? That a grown man, a professional football player, had to get a ticket to go to Houston to meet his brother in the middle of the night and wait for a bus till 2 o'clock in the morning to bring him there. No, but that's what the Arena Football League did to Torrey Boyd, who was the center for the New Orleans Breakers in the USFL last year. Okay, I mean, who treats their people that way? Who treats their people that way and don't expect to be called out on it? You know, I, I'm not. I told our guys this exact thing. I said, "Don't quit, guys. We'll just hire a lawyer and we'll sue. Nobody's going to quit because if we quit, then they can stop paying us." I said, "Don't quit. Keep being part of the team. If another team picks you up, go." I told them, I said, "I'll sign your release right now. Until they fire me, I'm going to do whatever it takes for my guys to get what they need to do because there's no way I get those guys like the roster I had if I don't stand by my word. I sold them on the wholesale of family, and I can't just be about the talk. I got to be about the walk. What would Nick Saban do in this situation? That's what I keep thinking, right? And I just feel like we've done everything possible as a coaching staff, as an organization on my end to make sure that my guys were taken care of, but I can't pay them because I don't have the money the league owes them. And I don't have the stuff that they're owed to get them back home. Some of them can't afford to get home. And in saying that, as it's coming out right now on the internet, There's fans that are saying, "Hey, let's open up Black and Coliseum Sunday, and we'll just go and donate our money and buy tickets to that just to help the fans, just to help the players." Now, what other team has that kind of loyal fans and only 1 week of playing? Nobody, man. I mean, South Louisiana has really taken a loving to the Voodoo, and it's sad that they're about to get robbed. The worst thing is we could have done it really bad. Let me tell you, there was after the game, there was 20 to 30 sponsors that came on the field and were like, "We want our signs up. We want to advertise with the team. We want to do this." I'm from here, Anthony. You think I was going to take their money? It wouldn't have been enough to cover maybe 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So do you think I was going to take their money? No, I wasn't. I told those all of them, look, we'll get with y'all next week. And then I told Corey, don't even go after them until we know a direction to go in. Because I'm not for taking those monies for sponsors and sending that into the league office. And then what? What would they do? Still do the same thing they're doing to us right now? Not pay us and do the same thing they're doing right now? I didn't do it, and I wouldn't do it, man. I mean, I'm not going to rip off my community. The college called me tonight, and they were thinking, Coach, there's $15,000 still owed on the bill for the rest of the season to be paid up till June. What do you want to do? Look, man, I want y'all to rent it to somebody else. I said because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I told my players, I said I'm going to tell you guys the same thing I tell my own son: sign with another team. Don't make your money while you can. The clock is ticking. There's only so many football games you have left and the amount of time you can play them in. All right. Don't worry about me. Your loyalty to me has been seen. I know that you are loyal men, I said. Okay. You're a man of your word, I told them. But here's the deal. The word has no binding to it. They're not paying us. There's no guarantees. Go to another team. And you other teams out there, if you don't sign my guys, you're crazy. What other team that wouldn't have got paid wouldn't have been out there blabbing and putting it all over Facebook, right? But my guys, they took it like this, you don't I told them that. I said, you don't have marital problems and put it all over Facebook and then take your wife back. You know what I'm saying? Like it just looks bad, right? And so my guys, they understood that. They took it for that. So that's what we've done. We've seriously, held our water. We've been quiet about it to this point. And I'm not saying it now to slam the league because it could happen to any league. It can happen to any owner. But this was intentional, not after 1 week. This is not something that just should have happened. Okay. There's other teams out there that could have been folded. I mean, you have a marquee team with probably the best uniforms, the best name, the best everything in the league. But instead of sending us out to other teams, you would rather send the semi-pro teams that y'all could beat up on 50-12. Okay, do that. That's great. I mean, wouldn't fans want to see a better game? I mean, I'm telling you right now, the Voodoo are the champions of the AFL until proven different, which nobody's going to ever prove us different. I mean, I tell you right now, we would have beat Albany. I watch film. I'm a coach. This is what I do for a living. We would have beat Albany. We would have beat Nashville. We would have beat them all. I mean, and there's no chance of us ever getting that opportunity. And that's what my guys wanted worse. Even this weekend, my guys were willing not to get paid again and playing against Orlando just to prove a point. Just to prove a point. That's what kind of professionals I have on my team. And it's just it's sad, Anthony. And I mean, I'm fed up with it. That's why I'm on your show tonight to dispel the rumors, to put the truth, to put the icing on the cake, the real truth.
How do you kind of reassure the fans and your players that may have doubt about the rest of the season? And on top of that, do you think this AFL season will last?
I think the AFL season is going to last because I believe Nashville, Orlando, and Albany can make it last. I think Billings may be in that list too, possibly Salina, Kansas, maybe. I think there's 5 or 6 teams that can make it last. Okay, that probably have the right stability, right ownership group, right things in place to make it last. I think that would be it could happen. I think it does finish the year with those teams only. Somehow or another, it's going to contract. I believe it's going to contract. I wish we would have been in the contraction. I'm not. This is the term they're going to use because there are unbelievable spinners. They're going to say, "Well, he's just mad that it failed in his city and he's not there no more." Right? Absolutely not, man. I'm going to go on vacation with my family. I'm going to go to the beach this summer. You know what I'm saying? All the fun things that I was going to miss out on to coach arena football, I'm not going to miss out on. I mean, summer in South Louisiana is pretty fun. Okay, so I'm not upset about it. I'm upset for my community. I'm upset for the bills that are unpaid in my community. All those things. I'm upset about that. Yeah, I'm definitely upset about it. And I'm not going to quit fighting until that's done right. If I have to hire lawyers to make that happen. Um, you know, anytime I like to say this a lot too, Anthony. I'm an administrator in school. I've been an administrator for a while. I know that anytime two kids fight, there's two stories, right? And somewhere in the middle, there's a gray area, which is probably the truth, and it's hard to find out, right? I haven't nearly went to the extreme side of the stories I could tell you for the horrors of the Arena Football League this year. I'm trying to stay real close to the gray area because I don't want to get fired. But if I do, I mean, honestly, they've already broken my contract by not paying me. But but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I do get fired. You know what I'm saying? Because I accomplished what I wanted to do this year. We're 1-0. I feel like we can get some rings right now if we want. You know what I mean? Like there doesn't matter who they would have put out in front of us. I can tell you forever, if we never play another game, we finish undefeated. We are undefeated. You know what I mean? When Steve Spurrier did that with the AAF, the Alliance of American Football, he got a championship, right? I kind of feel like, hey, we need a championship. So yeah, I don't care what they say tomorrow. There's a gray area. I'm in it right now, guys. I'm not nearly touching on the extremes or being as ugly as I can be about what the stories are, or nearly going in depth telling you how bad it really is. Yeah, it's terrible the fact that my guys didn't even get to shower after a game and had no place to live. But I'm not going into depth about what all we had to do to make that right for the guys, and it's still not completely right. You know, and the league didn't do that. Our coaching staff did. We have, besides the money they owe us another $10,000 in bills that we've spent out to make the players right in the time that they've been mistreated. So Anthony, it's just so I guess what I'm telling you is the fans out there who love drama and love to find something wrong with a story or spin it. Listen to me well. The story is the story. What I am telling you, I'm telling you is 100% accurate. You know, I have no reason financially. It's not going to help me or hurt me for telling you this story. You know, if anything, I'm doing this because there's 25 guys that I was in charge of, and I'm riding that ship for them. Okay. James Shiver is not going to die if he doesn't get his money that the Arena Football League owes him, because James Shiver has got a great job at St. Evan High School, and he's going to be successful no matter what. Okay. But my other guys who moved here, left their family at home, and don't have a dollar to get back home from Louisiana, that's the real wrong. That's the real travesty. That's the real problem. Okay. They were done wrong, man. And that's why I'm on this show tonight. Whenever you reached out to me, Anthony, I was excited. There was other people that wanted me to tell my story, and I was kind of holding it all in, man. But then I said, you know what? The public just deserves it. They deserve to hear the truth. What's going on? Because if you're waiting on the Arena Football League to tell you the truth, guys, you're going to wait for a long time. And the truth is going to be, I'm telling you, it'll be some made up story where Shiver did it. It's Shiver's fault. He didn't do the arena correctly. It was unsafe, and we were just so worried about other people getting hurt. Now, Anthony, do you think that's true? Because if so, why are we playing in Oregon still? Why are the teams still playing in Oregon? I mean, they're not. Are the players becoming like rodeo stars? Because that's what they're playing inside of a rodeo arena, and the fencing is on the outside. There's no dashboards there. That's the safety issue. That's the problem. Okay. I mean, it's just every story that has been told to me, it's just not true, and it's time for people to know it.
Coach James Shiver, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it.